All right, y'all. So we got the very first Kamala versus Trump ads. First, I'm going to show you the pro-Kamala one, then we'll get to the pro-Trump ones. Let's dive into this here.
Sick of this? Well, think about this. He's a world leader in temper tantrums. She never loses her cool. She prosecuted sex predators. He is one. She shut down for-profit colleges that swindled Americans. He was a for-profit college.
At Trump University, we teach success.
Literally. He's owned by the big banks. She's the attorney general who beat the biggest banks in America and forced them to pay homeowners $18 billion. He's tearing us apart. She'll bring us together. This is Trump. And in every possible way, this is the anti-Trump. So if that's what you're looking for in your next president, there's really only one. Kamala.
Damn. That was a good ad, bro. That was a good ad. Look, they need to lean into fraud, con man, criminal. Fraud, con man, criminal. And oh yeah, by the way, he's the reason abortion was overturned. He's the reason Roe v. Wade was overturned. He's the reason why all the red states have these draconian-ass authoritarian abortion laws. Just those things. That's all you got to lean into. Hammer it over and over and over. Fraud, con man, criminal, anti-abortion. He's the reason Roe v. Wade was overturned. Over and over and over and over and over. Guys, lean into. I know it's a saying on the left. It's a thing on the left. Oh, Kamala's a cop. Kamala's a cop. Everybody was saying that in 2020 when she was running in the Democratic primary. I got news for you. This is one of those rare issues where if you lean into that, on the left, that's perceived as, oh, Kamala's a cop, right? To the median American voter, they're like, cop versus felon? Oh, cop all day, bro. That's what the median American voter is thinking. So that cop versus felon framework, that's a winner right there. That's a winner. All right, so I'm going to play this one more time. Then I'm going to get to the Trump one for you. By the way, you're not going to be surprised to hear this, but this ad was actually cut before Biden stepped down, and I think it's just like a random fan-made ad. Like, this is the kind of ad we can run if it is Kamala versus Trump, because Matt Iglesias shared this on Twitter before Biden had even stepped down. So, again, I don't think this isn't even one that's actually made by Kamala's people. Which, I mean, is kind of unsurprising because it's a really fucking good ad. Like, I would expect the ad from the Kamala people to be a lot less hard-hitting and a lot less correct and a lot less on point. So here we go. One more time, and then I'll show you the Trump one.
Look at this. Well, think about this. He's a world leader in temper tantrums. She never loses her cool. She prosecuted sex predators. He is one.
Okay, that's a great line. She prosecuted sex predators. He is one. And then you hear the grab him by the pussy thing. Oh!
She shut down for-profit colleges that swindled Americans. He was a for-profit college.
At Trump University, we teach success.
Another good-ass line.
Literally. He's owned by the big banks. She's the attorney general who beat the biggest banks in America and forced them to pay homeowners $18 billion. He's tearing us apart. She'll bring us together. This is Trump. And in every possible way, this is the anti-Trump. So if that's what you're looking for in your next president, there's really only one. Kamala.
All right. There you go. All right, so now let's get to the Trump one. So this is the first one from MAGA War Room going after Kamala. Let's see.
Kamala was in on it. She covered up Joe's obvious mental decline.
Our president is in good shape, in good health, tireless, vibrant, and I have no doubt about the strength of the work that we have done.
But Kamala knew Joe couldn't do the job, so she did it. Look what she got done. A border invasion, runaway inflation, the American dream dead. They created this mess. No, Kamala owns this failed record. Make America Great Again Inc. is responsible for the content of this advertising.
I got to be honest with you guys. I think that shit is weak sauce. I really do. The other thing I've seen a lot of the RNC accounts on Twitter running with, they just like keep clipping all of Kamala's like goofy laughs. Like we're like, like all those kinds of laughs. And I mean, first of all, Tucker Carlson also has the weirdest laugh on the planet and you guys love him, right? So obviously a laugh isn't dispositive where you're like, you know what, I'm done with this person. But like really, if that's all you got to dig up, the best attacks I've seen are when they pulled up the old Tulsi clip going after Kamala and Tulsi actually hits her on some substantive issues back in 2020 when they were both running for president. Like all that stuff is fair game. But all the stuff they're leaning into, and the other thing is like, it's become a meme on the left to like, we have to be unburdened by what's been, you know, I don't even remember exactly how it goes, but you know the gist of it. It's like, basically like forget the past, let's move forward and try to fix things, and we have to be unburdened by what's been. that's the general gist of it. And the lefties have been memeing with that. And now the right-wingers are trying to use that like against Kamala. And it was funny because somebody tweeted that line in response to a Kamala thing. And then there was a panicked right-winger underneath like, delete this. They're running with this and they're flipping it against us. Delete it. So in other words, like in the meme war, you're never going to defeat like the coconut tree shit. Like, what do you think? You fell out of a coconut tree? You exist in the context of all that was before. You're never going to beat that. And you're never going to beat the unburdened thing. Like, that's become its own thing and taken on a life of its own, and it's not something that's like a negative. But they're trying to use just the fact that she says that line over and over, like, aha! Her laugh, the fact she used that line over and over, and now all they got is, oh yeah? Well, Joe Biden is really old, and you knew that. And you were the vice president, so you own all the mistakes. Look, what Trump doesn't understand and what the Republicans don't understand is with Kamala, okay, her brain works. Her brain works. So you try to hit her on, hey, here's all the things that you did in your administration that we don't like. She's just going to flip all the positive things that the Biden administration did on you. And by the way, she has enough space to run away from the negative things, right? So, for example, like all the Gaza policy of Joe Biden. Well, reports are that behind the scenes, Kamala was like, we should be more sympathetic to Palestinians. She can run away from the negatives. And then when the Republicans try to tar her with more negatives, she gets to say, oh, really? Well, we tried to reduce student loan debt for kids who were burdened by all that debt. We cut $1,400 stimulus checks. We reduced the drone war. We did the PACT Act. We helped veterans that were exposed to toxic burn pits. We added 800,000 manufacturing jobs. We did the CHIPS Act. We did infrastructure. So the issue that the Trump people are going to run into is that they think it's enough, in their circles, it's just enough to be like, Joe Biden's the worst president ever, and look at the border and inflation. They haven't had to stand across from somebody who could go through the positives. They haven't had to stand across from somebody who can say, we did $15 minimum wage for all of the federal contractors and employees. That's 400,000 people. We did red flag laws for guns. So we did gun reform for the first time in decades and decades. We had an NLRB that fought for workers. Like I said, we did the CHIPS Act. We did tax credits for electric vehicles. We did $64 billion for Obamacare and got the number of people covered to a new high. So they haven't had to deal with somebody who's remotely competent. And now they have one, and I don't think they know how to handle that. If the best they could do is look at her laugh, look at that goofy line she says over and over, and, oh yeah, Joe Biden was old and you knew that, that's weak, bro. That's weak. I'm sorry, that's just not good. Like, that, you're not going to win on that. And then the best they do, yeah, the border. Well, Kamala Harris, again, her brain is functioning, so how's she going to respond? We had a bipartisan border bill ready to go that we worked out with Republicans like James Lankford. It was the toughest border crackdown in decades and decades. You guys didn't pass it. Why? Because Trump came out and said, don't pass that. I don't want to give the Biden administration a win. So you bring up the border, she's going to throw that right back in your fucking face. That's what's going to happen. So I think they're kind of in over their head. Like, I think they're kind of failing massively. It shouldn't be this difficult to run against somebody like Kamala. She's the second weakest candidate. But man, are they flailing, and man, are they panicked, and man, are their attacks at the moment weak. Like, they're going to have to come up with a better line, because what they've done so far, none of it's hitting. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.